Disney's Twisted Wonderland is off to a pretty interesting start. So I just got done watching episode 2, and I try to go in as unspoiled as possible. So thank you to my comment section on my last video for letting me know that this is based off of the manga and not the video game like I first thought. So appreciate that. I try to go in unresearched so I don't get things spoiled. So apologies to anyone who was complaining about me being unresearched. But it was a setup as an isekai, and we are following a lot of those same isekai tropes. Japan doesn't exist. The magic mirror has no recollection of his world or where he came from. Now, one thing that I am curious about is a lot of isekai, once they get past those first few episodes and the establishing of the new world, they never look back. They never see like, oh, let's go back to Japan. I want to go back home. Yukin does seem to want to go back home, especially since he had the big tournament that was coming up and you have all his students that he was teaching. But I'm curious to see if this is going to fall into those same tropes of, oh, we just forgot that he ever came from another world in the first place and we're moving on. I'm not saying that would ruin the show for me. It is just a genuine curiosity on if that's going to play a factor whatsoever, because another thing that my comment section pointed out is that each season is going to cover like a different house, and I don't know if Yukin's going to be the main character of each of those seasons, because we're already establishing an ensemble cast. You have Ace and Dunce. Dunce and Ace are kind of both two ends of the spectrum. One's, I don't want to say like the goody two shoes, but he is more on the good, nice end. And then Ace is kind of like a jerk. He's Ace of, yeah, he's just a jerk. So we have those two characters that are also established as pretty major characters, presumably, that also get in trouble with Yukin after a fight with the cat, who also seems like it's going to be a main character, especially since we set up some of his backstory in terms of, well, he wanted to come to the magical university and he didn't get in, and the carriage never came, which was depressing, but admittedly didn't really work for me. Like, there was no like big emotional beat. Hoping we build up more on that character. But establishing them as friends, or I guess frenemies, is pretty interesting. My favorite part of the episode, though, was when we go to all of, I believe it was like the notable 7 villains, and we're establishing all of them and their roles in this world. I absolutely love how the perception from these characters is very different than our perception as people who have seen these characters in Disney, because this is the Twisted Wonderland. These are all the villains and kids of villains and the world of villains. So they would view Scar or Ursula as, like, Ursula was like, oh, she helps people. She likes to help merfolk in need. And that's not the actual truth of the situation, but the truth seems to have been manipulated, or at least their perception is pretty different. So that's going to be really interesting as maybe we start to meet these villains, or we start to establish more villains in this world. So that really, really worked for me. I also listened to the opening. It's a banger. I did like it, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like and follow.